morning, everybody. Big Dog Northeast Colorado Storm Chasers. Now I'm live, and I know I can see it. My microphone's talking to me, so I know that I'm there now. So I apologize. Um, I had to restart my computer. If you don't know, yeah, if you don't know, most of these Windows computers, if you don't update overnight or something, the sound card kicks off. I've had this issue at school, and that's exactly what happened. So now I'm back and I'm live. So here we go. Let's run with this. Let me get my screen pulled up here real quick, and then we'll get going. Good morning. Good morning. How are you, Amanda? Good to see you. Let me just pop up on my screen here. You can probably only see me right now. I haven't got my screen quite up yet. So give me just a moment. I have to reopen literally everything because it decided to do its nice little update there. So that's so crazy. I've seen this before at work, and I thought, you know what, it'll be fine. And guess what? It wasn't fine. So at least we're live with you now, though. So thank you to our sponsors. You can see them streaming on the side. Share them some loves and everything, so that we know that we share for what they do for us. So we appreciate them. So let's go ahead and take a look at our forecast for today. Guys, we got some breaking weather here today, and this is dangerous situation going on here. Okay, so I'm going to be very blunt about this. This is something we all need to really take serious matter of this, okay? First of all, let's look at the high wind warning that's out there, and this is for the Boulder, Fort Collins area and stuff, and I'll get to all that here in just a moment. You'll see a whole ton about it all, and then you can see the red flag warning as well. That doesn't mean there's not a red flag warning here. There is, and I'm going to show you what that is here in just a second. You'll see it's in eastern Weld County. You'll see it's just kind of left us in the open, and that kind of makes me wonder, are they going to add some places? And I do believe some parts of western Morgan County have the opportunity to be into this red flag conditions today. So I'm going to show you all that here in just a second from the weather briefing from the Weather Service. They really gave a great weather briefing this morning. So this is a particularly dangerous situation. To my knowledge, this is the first time ever that the National Weather Service has issued a PDS type watch for fire danger. I don't think I've ever, in the years that I've chased storms, have seen this. And you can see, if you are in this area here, Jamestown, Lyons, Boulder area, folks there along Highway 93 westward, it's a particularly dangerous situation. Okay, wind gust of 80 to 100 miles possible. Okay, sustained winds in that area of 45 to 55 miles an hour. You've got relative humidities, RH values, 8 to 20%. That's awful. That's super low. That is very critical fire type weather. Okay, so from now until 8 p.m. tonight, okay, and the winds are going to start probably around 11 o'clock is what I'm looking at when I was checking some of the areas. So we'll see what happens from there. Let's go to the next slide because this is so important, folks. Again, there's those gusts. You can see some of the towns. You've got Allens Park, Estes Park, Netherlands, Blackhawk is right by there as well. You're looking at 75 to 80 by Blackhawk, 90 to 95 by Nederland. Look at Jamestown, right dead center in this, guys. If a fire breaks out here in this area, this is going to be a massive fire, probably a dangerous type situation. Anybody that lives in this area, so please have everything ready to go. There's what we're talking about. There's those RH values. That's what we call relative humidity. Look at DIA, 11%. Denver, 9% humidity. That is super low humidity values, folks. Okay, so there they are. That's the red flag warning. You can see that Boulder's in there, Evergreen, Estes Park, Fort Collins, Red Feather Lake, Cheyenne, Wyoming, Greeley. The Greeley metro area is in this as well. Kiowa, Castle Rock, Colorado Springs. Okay, those are probably going to see some wind gusts up to 30 to 50 miles an hour, and that's going to be critical as well. It's because of the RH values, which are making this so dangerous, the relative humidity. Okay, so as you can see, dry and windy conditions here, even out here in Morgan County, 19%, 18%. Folks in Yuma, you guys dealt with that huge fire a few days ago. You've got RHs under 20% today. That's critical fire value today, so that's dangerous. So I'm not kidding you. Any fire that breaks out today could be very dangerous and life-threatening. Okay, so let's talk about those areas here. There's those wind gusts, maximum wind gusts. Okay, excuse me, these are sustained winds. I apologize for misreading. sustained winds. These are the maximums that they could sustain at 54 miles an hour. These are some at 53. So these are sustained winds during that time frame. Let's look at the wind gust. Oh no, those are the these are the sustained winds from 11 to 2 p.m. Sorry, I misread that again. You can see they're still kind of in that area. And then there's the high wind warning. Okay, trying to keep you all posted on all this so you all see. If you're in this area here today, you are in the high wind warning. That does not mean, like Greeley, they're in the high fire area today. Okay, they're not in the high wind warning, but they're still going to get high winds. So I do want you to know that just because you are not in the warning, you could be. And I was looking at some of the projected winds. Those winds could come down through about right here, and I'll show you that here in just a few moments, okay? So let's take a look. Not much for snow. There is some winter weather advisories out there by Cameron Pass, okay, and Rabbit Ears Pass. Okay, those are some of the winter weather advisories there. But what's happening is we're having those downsloping winds, and what happens is as those winds come off the mountains, they're nice and cold, and then they come down, and then as they come down, they rapidly intensify, and they kind of warms up a little bit too. So we'll see warmer temperatures as well, because that's just how it is. The cooling and then dropping in that coming down the slope just really increases that warmth of the air, and then it also just really picks up the wind gusts. So that's what we're going to be seeing out here. So that's what's causing that. That's the downsloping winds. So driving, let's go over this. If you're going to be driving in any of this area, and I say this because even my wife's going to be in Weld County today, and I told her I might be out chasing today out in this area to see. So driving, and I think Freddie might be out there as well. If Freddie's out in that area, Freddie will keep us posted as well. Freddie's been giving us some amazing videos out in that area by FOCO and stuff. So hopefully he'll be back on it again today. So driving in strong winds, maintain a safe distance from high profile vehicles. You've been watching videos all week long of semis getting blown over. Matter of fact, we had one I-76 here in Morgan County a few days ago during that high wind event. They had a semi blown over at mile marker 92 or 93, I believe, is what we heard on the scanner. So look out for falling trees, power lines, debris. You might see that occurring, and especially blowing across the road. If you go by construction sites, if you go by landfills, or just places that have things that may be unsecured, those could blow right across the road. So keep a firm grip on your wheel, because you hit a wind gust, it could really blow you off course. Okay, caution on bridges and overpasses as well, because that kind of creates that vacuum effect and makes it a little bit stronger as you're driving through those areas. So what's a red flag warning? So this is important to know. Okay, critical fire weather conditions are existing. Okay, it doesn't mean there's a fire. No, I don't want you to think that. Okay, if there's a fire warning, we'll make sure that we issue it. A couple days ago, Cheyenne, Wyoming issued a fire warning. Yuma County had a fire warning. It was on the radar, so we were able to take that radar image and post it and let everybody know that there's a fire going on there. Okay, so if we give you a fire warning, that's different. What this is saying is there's a potential for a fire warning in these areas, so you got to be ready to go. Things to avoid: smoking. You folks that might smoke, don't flick those cigarettes out. Today is the day you do not want to do this. You cause this, that can cause a massive wildfire. Okay, no open burnings. Please, no fireworks. I know it's the end of the year, but not a time to be firing them off right now. If you've got any backfires of vehicles, sparks, fences, I've seen metal pieces of fence on a vehicle dragging and causing a spark and making fires. So be prepared for that, okay? So take action. Make your wildfire plan. Folks, where we live, unfortunately, you got to have a wildfire plan. I teach that at my school with my kids. To always have a wildfire plan just in case. Know what you're going to take in case you're told to evacuate. You folks in Yuma County probably didn't get much notice that night and told, hey, you got to get out. You got to think, what am I going to take with me when I go? Mortgage papers, probably, actually some of you like leave those there. But, you know, things that are in your safe that you might have. Like I have a little fire safe for me, and if something goes, that's where I'm grabbing my marriage certificate, my birth certificate, Social Security cards, things like that. Those are things you need to have. Have a go kit ready to go, a go bag. Michelle is so gracious, who makes us go bags, who ours are getting empty now because we've been eating out of them and using them when we go chasing. So that's what she makes for us. Okay, we follow fire prevention tips and regulations. If you're told to do something by your local sheriff, please follow it. They're telling you something because this could be a dangerous situation for you, so be prepared. If they tell you to evacuate, evacuate. Know your evacuation orders and follow their routes. Okay, if they tell you to go this way, because they'll know the direction of the movement of the fire. So, and I do put a lot of trust in our sheriff's deputies out here in our county areas where we live. If they tell you to get north, go north. Okay, if because fires will move very quickly, guys. I've seen fires move ground speed 40 miles an hour out here. It's incredible. Fire trucks can't keep up with that. There's no way. So I do want you to make sure if you're told to evacuate, follow the evacuation plans. Okay, some things to think about. If you have defensible space, good for you. I used to have trees outside by my house here, these pine trees. Hated them because one, they're explosive. So I got rid of them completely, cut them down, and now I have myself a little bit of a defensible space. 6 feet from the ground is where you should have those trees trimmed at all times. If you're going to Costa, I haven't done that yet. Well, it's probably too late now, but make sure from here on out if you have that. I've got all my bushes gone from my house. I used to have a couple of bushes around my house. Those are dangerous because those are big fire hazards, especially in the areas where we live if they get really dry. So it's all about landscaping as well. And know your routes, of course, and then have an emergency supply. That is an amazing picture. That's, if I recall, that is a real photo from that. So, okay, so let's talk about areas that we're going to be into this. Okay, Boulder County is one of the biggest ones. Okay, guys, so let's go here to the Boulder County areas. There we go. Oh, wow, that just, whoa. Man, I'm amazing at zooming in on this thing. Okay. Sorry, everybody. I zoomed a little too fast. There we go. Okay, let's get back into Boulder County here. Wow. All right. So you can see right there, folks. Is that the wind one? I don't know if I hit the right one. I got a little crazy with the button there, so I might have clicked the wrong. Yeah. So fire potential, there it is. So moderate and high, there's your high stuff right through here. Look here, Greeley, Foco, places like that. You guys got a high potential of fire danger today, so just keep that in mind. Now these areas here that are by the mountains, these are where those downsloping winds are coming to. So they're moderate as well. So any wildfire that breaks out can be very severe. So I cannot stress that enough for you. So please, 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 please be ready. Here is the forecast for the metro area tonight. I believe this is for Denver. Yes, 61 degrees. Excuse me. And then you've got the blowing dust and windy. It's going to be sunny and breezy today already. So just be prepared for all of these changing conditions. People are asking me what time, when's this going to be happening? So when I looked at the map from Pivotal Weather this morning, it logged me out naturally, shocker. Anyway, let me get back to my Pivotal Weather here. And I was looking at the local regional maps here. Let me just zoom in on this here. Give me just a moment. It won't take long. And I apologize for that. Okay, here we go. Forecast. So I was trying to look at the winds, the surface winds. So this is 10 meters above ground level, some of the wind gusts. Okay, so let's zoom in here. And I'm trying to keep everybody in Wyoming involved as well. Okay, so this is in about an hour that you're looking at, and this is just a normal breezy day by Cheyenne. So looking at winds around 77 miles an hour, 75 mile an hour wind gusts. You can see those wind gusts already picking up. Look at this, where I put my pin, where my cross on. Did you see 100 miles an hour? Did you guys see that? In the next hour, 80, 87. Oh my gosh, just amazing wind gusts. Okay, so let's kick it out here in about an hour. This is 2 hours out. You can see Weld County now starting to pick into this a little bit. 66 miles an hour right along the Wyoming-Colorado border. Look at these wind gusts start picking up again. 90s. Okay. And this is right west of Denver. Let's kick it in another hour. Okay. Now look at here in Morgan County, kind of gets into this a little bit. Northern Morgan County. So you're looking at 48 miles an hour. That doesn't mean exactly going to be there, folks. This is what the model's predicting. So it could be farther south. It could be farther north. But I just want you to be prepared. If you're in Northern Weld County, look at this, 58 miles an hour. Okay, let's go right along here. Look at this, 90. I saw 102. Look at that. These are wind gusts. Let's do another hour out. This is 4 hours out. Those winds are still in Morgan County I was talking about. Okay, and there it is, right around the Greeley area, 55 miles an hour. Look at this, 80, 90 still going on. Okay, let's go 5 hours out. Morgan County gets involved again still, but look it up here in Northern Weld, 62, 67, still in the 80s and 90s up there. Hope if Freddie's up there, maybe Freddie will get some video or stuff up there. But you can see again, they flow through Morgan County again and up through Logan County. They're starting to enter here now. Okay, 60, 55. So, folks, this is going crazy again on these winds. Let's go 7 hours out. Okay, later on this evening, and it starts still picking up here in spots. So you might get some big wind gusts occasionally. Again, Greeley area, any fire that breaks out through this area could be pretty valid, folks. So please keep that in mind. All right. I can't stress all the things that I've talked about today. First of all, let me say good morning to everybody out there. Good morning, Amanda. Good morning, John. Oh, okay. Sherry's saying we had a fire out here from a semi-truck that sparked a fire in the grasslands last year. Yes, we get that a lot. When they blow a tire, that can start a huge fire. One of the biggest fires I went on was out there, actually, was out in Washington County because of that. So the hurricane winds here from South Carolina, he knows all about. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We had some big wind gusts, guys. 144 in Wyoming a couple of days ago. And then, of course, the folks in Yuma County had been dealing with a lot of that as well. So it has been absolutely insane and crazy out there. So that being said, I'll take a few questions if you have any for travel plans and stuff, but I will help you out the best I can. Again, if you have family or friends west of here, even in Morgan County and west, north of here, let them know to have a fire plan in place. Guys, any fires, and I don't even want to exclude out here, even a good 30-mile-an-hour wind out here in Morgan County. That fire in Yuma County probably had, initially had 70-some-mile-an-hour winds, but then that morning, the next morning, they had 30-plus-mile-an-hour winds that just kept pushing that fire south. So if there are hot spots out there, those have a potential of sparking back up. So I always tell people, if you live in those counties where you just recently had a fire, keep that in mind. Make sure to keep an eye on that. Farmers, if you have any property out there that was involved, double check those areas. Make sure that they're still, if they're cooled off, make sure there's no hot spots out there. That really helps because it's what we call a rekindle, and rekindles can occur. And if rekindles occur, then it just becomes a severe problem for others as well. So good job. Yep, Sherry says she keeps her acreage mowed down. So I don't know if you saw my question. In December, I don't think I've ever heard of one in Colorado. To be honest with you, Amanda, I'm very unfamiliar. And if Freddie or the other guys are on, they might be able to answer that. Freddie is the guru of the tornado stuff, so he knows a lot of the tornado history. I'll have him look into that and check, Amanda, and see if he can find anything on that. So that would be definite. Good morning, Bruce. Use a lot of caution where you're at today because of the fire weather. That's potential for you folks in Weld County today. So, all right. Anybody else have questions? Check in where you watching from this morning real quick before I get going. I've got a meeting here in a few minutes I've got to get going to online. So I've got to meet with some one of the sponsored friends from HOSA, and I do HOSA here at the school district as well. So again, I'm going to try to get out and chase today if we can to see what we can get for winds. Hopefully Freddie will be out there as well. Hopefully we get others out there. Big shout out to Austin Gordon. Austin, hope you're feeling better, brother. Check in with us, the team. Let us know how you're feeling today. We always do that. So keep us posted. Thank you, Sherry by Grover. We appreciate that. I think you're going to see some high winds out there as well. So could these winds cause one? No, absolutely not. The type of winds that we get, this is all downsloping winds, so you won't see that. It's hard to see updrafts form as cool as it is right now here. That's those rotating thunderstorms. You won't see that type of updraft type of storm situation out here. So very rare. So Keensburg, husband's a power lineman on standby. Yes. Matter of fact, XL Energy is talking about shutting off power in spots throughout the state today. So if you are one of those folks who have XL Energy, be prepared for that. Good morning, Freddie. Freddie, people are asking, has there ever been a tornado in December? You're the tornado guru, and then if you want to answer that question, I'd appreciate that. And then calm in Vona right now. Thank you for the update. Yeah. Also, Freddie, are you going to be out chasing on Highway 93? So I'm just curious if you are or not. I'm going to try to be in the Weld County area today to see if we have anything. So Freddie will keep you all updated there. So I think that's all I have, guys. I do have a meeting I've got to attend here at, I think it's at 10 o'clock. Oh yeah, it's at 10 o'clock. So I got to get going. So as much as I'd love to stay on and visit with everybody, I do have to get going for a meeting in 2 minutes. So that's it from Big Dog Northeast Colorado Storm Chasers. We appreciate you watching. Be careful out there. Stay safe. Yeah, we don't want any fires today, guys. Please, farmers, don't burn. You're pretty smart about that, farmers, so I'm not really worried about you guys, but there's always some potential of something going on, so please be safe out there. We'll keep you posted, and if anything breaks, we'll make sure that we do a live weather update. And again, sorry for the earlier post because my computer didn't post. I'll delete that from there. So, and Freddie said, no, there has never been a tornado in December in Colorado. Perfect, Freddie. You're the man. I knew you'd know that. So, okay, guys, that's it. I got to go. Meeting in 1 minute now. So take care. Be careful out there. Stay safe. Thanks for watching. Big Dog, Northeast Colorado Storm Chasers. Stay safe.